Hey there, guys. This is Tyler back for another episode of the Tyler podcast Redux. I am joined yet again by the Water Pumpkin. How are you doing, mate?
I'm doing good.
That's great. We should hopefully be getting more guests in this podcast come this summer. Proxy was thinking about joining this time, but I guess he's not here for whatever reason. Gabe never shows up anymore. I invited Colin to come on at some point this summer. You know, the voice actor of Dapper for Tyler Tales.
Ooh.
So yeah, and then
I never really interacted with that guy, honestly.
Yeah, and we might get some other faces in here at some point soon. So yeah. You had a appointment today, Water Pumpkin.
Yeah, I did.
How did it go?
It went good, but again, I said that I recently researched that I got a new cavity.
Ooh, alright. Yeah, cavities suck ass.
Yeah.
Anyway, so today's topics are going to be very interesting, actually, because a few of these are a little controversial.
Oh boy!
So, oh boy!
Oh boy!
Jesus.
Oh.
I sometimes I can do a Mickey Mouse impression perfect, but then other times I fuck it up so bad.
I used to do a really good Mickey Mouse impression in 2018.
Yeah. Anyway, so today's topics are going to be about the Talbert Files, and then PinkyPills Leaving, and then FNAF Movie 2 release date officially being revealed, then Help Wanted 2 on Quest, then the official FNAF Twitter account, and then the Jazwares FNAF merch collab thing, and then to round it all off, we'll talk about the Joy Creation living room gameplay reveals. Alright, so let's start off with what's probably one of the more controversial topics today, the Talbert Files. Oh my fucking god, this is going to be quite the topic, ain't it?
Yeah.
So basically, to those who are unaware, if you don't know what the Freddy Files is, as you guys know, FNAF has consistently been putting out book releases ever since the Silver Eyes in, I want to say, 2015?
I think it was like 2016, because that was around the time FNAF World was being announced.
Yeah, either 2015 or 2016, but ever since the Silver Eyes, there's been consistent releases in terms of books or literature for FNAF, alongside the games, and it started off with, like, the novel trilogy of, like, Silver Eyes, Twisted Ones, and Fourth Closet, but then along the way, Scott was like, let's make a guidebook for, FNAF, and, like, talk about, like, the gameplay, some, like, lore stuff, some theories, and also, like, talk about characters, stuff like that, basically being, like, an information guidebook type of thing, and it was called the Freddy Files. The first one released around, it was before the Fourth Closet. I think it was after Twisted Ones. Yeah, it was after Twisted Ones.
Yeah, I think it was like the third book ever released on the FNAF name.
Yeah, you're right. It was. I remember now. And so, yeah, and there's been like there's been actually multiple Freddy Files books released over the years. There was like the original one that released, the one we were just talking about. There's the next one, which adds Pizzeria Simulator and Ultimate Custom Night and the Fourth Closet into the book. Basically, how these books update, I'll explain in a second. Then they made another one after that that includes Help Wanted, FNAF AR, and then pretty sure the first like few stories of Fazbear's Frights.
Yeah.
And then after that was a whole Freddy Files book just dedicated to just Security Breach. And then there was another one that released that was Security Breach again, but added Ruin to it. And I think that's all the current Freddy Files books there is, unless I'm forgetting one.
The Survival Guidebook, did you? No, wait, no, you're saying Freddy Files, right?
Yeah, no, Survival Logbook doesn't count. That's like its own thing. But, and the Survival Logbook is unironically one of probably the best, like, book releases to ever come from FNAF, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
Just for, like, the lore stuff alone. But, yeah, anyway, the things with these books are there would be new ones that would come out basically to update information based off of any games or books that would release like in between each other. So there might be a new one that may come soon at some point that might include Help Wanted 2 into the Pig game and maybe the FNAF movie, maybe. And then like Tales of Pizzaplex. I don't know. I think Tales of Pizzaplex is included in the Security Breach Files books though, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe.
But yeah. But anyway, these books have also been controversial themselves for like for the occasion because of how it can often contain misinformation occasionally. It can often contain fan renders or fan renders and all that stuff. I remember one of them, I think it was like the updated one, like the second one that included Pizza Sim and UCN. In the when it displayed like the attack map for UCN, it used the Nightmare Bonnie Funko figure for like Nightmare Bonnie's head on the map, which is not a fan render, but it's not like the actual, you know, official Nightmare Bonnie head, if you know what I mean.
Kind of funny though.
Yeah, it was funny. Like, but silly mistakes like that are like a few reasons why some people aren't as huge on the Freddy Files books, which I understand completely because like these are meant to be like actual guidebooks that are meant to be credible to FNAF fans or anyone that needs like information on FNAF. But to get into the overall topic, so the Talbert Files. So I'm sorry ahead of time if there's any misinfo that I bring up. I am not 100% into it, but I know a lot of it at least, or at least like a huge portion of it. So the Talbert Files is basically what was supposed to be like an early version of the Freddy Files, the first one that was like apparently never published, and it contained like actual like lore drops and lore reveals such as Phone Guy's real name, and the last names of the murder children. We already knew the murder children's and victims' first names, but we found out like their last names, and then like apparently William Afton was like better described as like a character or antagonist or villain in this one. And yeah, it never saw the light of day, and it was a hot topic in the FNAF community onto whether or not it was a real book that was actually going to release. And it was brought to people's attention by Entom. I hope I said his name right. Entom was a huge member of the FNAF community, especially on Twitter and I think Reddit. And they were the one that popularized the discussion of the Talbert Files to like the general community, and I think like brought recognition to it. And yeah, it was like it was a debate whether or not it was real, because there was like there was not, admittedly, not that much evidence to suggest it was real, especially since like still isn't, to my knowledge, still as of recording this, there is no like physical video proof of like the book itself, like, you know, like taking the book, opening it, reading it, stuff like that. There's been apparently the cover has been revealed, but it's like not like a camera image, it's like a screenshot image, like if it was like a PDF file or whatever. And then apparently leaked pages, stuff like that. Now, for a little bit, Scott Cawthon didn't say anything up until it got way more huge and more people started talking about it. So basically what Scott did is he went onto Reddit and he basically said he said something along the lines of he didn't remember writing the Talbert Files. He didn't know what the Talbert Files were. So this led people to thinking Etam was lying. And then later on, Scott would end up clarifying that it's possible there was like a book version, there was like an early version of the Freddy Files that never was published, but he doesn't remember. Stuff like that. I'm in the right ballpark, right, Zwar Pumpkin?
I'm pretty sure that the Talbert Files leak was a hoax, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah, because like, I think the general consensus now is that like it's not real and it's fake. But yeah, of course, this started a huge discourse in the community because this led some people to even accuse the literal creator of the franchise of lying or like making shit up, but then also the people that supported Scott were also like going after Adam or anybody that like brought attention to the Talbert Files for saying they were lying. It was a big whole like, oh, he lied, they lied, she lied, etc, etc. Yeah, and yeah, some people think Adam made the Talbert Files up just to stir up the pot, which, yeah, it's possible, but who knows, right? Like, yeah. Honestly, I don't know what to think of the Talbert Files. Like, Go ahead. I thought you were gonna say something.
No, I was just... because there was, like, some ways silence.
Yeah, I guess. Fucking Discord. But anyway, yeah. I will say that the supposed leaks from the Talbert Files were indeed interesting. It's like, I would love to know Phone Guy's real name, obviously. And like, I think this interpretation of William Afton that was depicted was like somewhat interesting. Now, I feel like movie William Afton and then like Silver Eyes William Afton are probably better depictions of the character. And then maybe FNAF 1 through 3/4 Afton, where he's like a mysterious character. Not to say that Sister Location, the Pizza Sim, the UCN Afton was bad. I think that one's pretty decent too, but... And then, to be fair, like, the Talbert Files leak version of Afton is like semi-interesting. I will give it that, but... we don't know if it's real, so we can't even really praise it or criticize it, you know? So, like, what...
So, wait, I just remembered, didn't the Talbert Files also say that Phone Guy was a gambler?
Yeah, they gave, like, personality to the Phone Guy, I'm pretty sure.
It's funny.
Yeah. Wait, what was your... yeah, but speaking on the topic of that, what was your big takeaway from the Talbert Files? Could be the leaks, could be the situation itself, or, like, what was your biggest takeaway?
I'll be completely honest, I didn't really get into much research on the Talbert Files until a couple days ago because this was going to be a topic on this podcast. So I guess... I don't know, maybe something about Phone Guy, maybe. And the gambling part did give me away a little bit. Also about the name. But since it's like a hoax, I don't really have one anymore.
Yeah, I think the name of the Talbert Files is like a reference to some like character from the books. I think like Dr. Talbert.
A character
or some
from
shit.
Fazbear Frights.
Yeah, I haven't. I need to reread I need to reread the books, man.
I recall he was a character from the Friendly Faces book.
Okay, yeah. See, especially like later, like the second half of the Fazbear Frights books, I especially need to reread. But yeah, this drama, of course, led to some people leaving this drama, and then the next drama we're gonna talk about led to some people, even popular people in the community, to leave the community. I wonder who one of those people were, but then came back.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah, but like Derpy Horse left. Saw some
ML Spence.
ML Spence distance. I swear I saw a tweet from Johnny Block saying he wanted to distance, but like, I don't think he went through with it. Just sort of like what I did. But yeah, I don't have much else really to say about the Talbert Files. It's very interesting, but like the controversy and drama that like stemmed from it was very, very fucked up. And like, I feel like both sides could have probably handled this better, you know?
Yeah.
And that's gonna be a theme that's a theme we see a lot in like a lot of these like FNAF controversies that are just like basically argument based or opinion based or anything like that. It's like both sides are usually at fault for something and they both could do better at some parts, but like they both have their positives, maybe. Yeah, like it's not black and white. There's like gray. There's a gray area. yeah, anything else you want to mention about the Talbert Files before we like move on to Pinky?
I'll say this: when the Talbert Files situation was happening, for some reason I kind of mixed the Pinky Pill situation with the Talbert Files together because I somehow thought she had some involvement with the book.
Yeah, and I'll get in. You know what? Just yeah. Anything else you want to say before we move on to Pinky? Because that's gonna be the first thing I'll talk about when it comes to Pinky. How this is connected.
Yes.
Okay, so basically
now.
Oh.
Actually, no. I totally forgot what I was gonna say.
But yeah. So I guess moving on to Pinky. So the reason why the Pinky Pills started being talked about again around the exact same time as the Talbert Files was because when Scott Cawthon acknowledged the Talbert Files and made like Reddit posts and stuff talking about it, people in the community were a little upset or even pissed off that Scott would rather acknowledge like a fake book over over a very problematic artist that's been officially working with Scott for like the longest time and nothing has happened to her. So people were trying to get Scott to also address Pinky Pills since he was addressing it, Talbert Files. At first, Scott would not, and by the way, if you're listening to this podcast, usually because like obviously it's usually FNAF fans that are gonna listen to this because it's a FNAF channel. So you probably know who Pinky Pills is and like why she's considered problematic. I don't really need to get into it. If you really do not know, just look it up. Just look into it. Yeah, but for the longest time during this time, Scott Cawthon would not really address Pinky Pills up until a few days after until like a little bit after the Talbert Files was addressed, where Scott seemingly defended Pinky. Yeah. Let's just say this did not go over well with people at all. If people were already still upset for Scott over the donation shit from 2021, and people were upset at him again for the Zionism stuff from like the month before, then they were pissed yet again at him for seemingly defending who was basically a problematic individual and seemingly keeping them around. So yeah, backlash was huge, and then Pinky Pills made a statement where she, by the way, just spoiler alert, Pinky Pills is gone. She's gone. She's distanced herself from FNAF. Officially, she's gone. But basically, she made a statement basically explaining that she's leaving. She's distancing herself. Now, some people like to think that she didn't actually leave on her own accord. It was Scott secretly firing her behind the scenes not to start any huge shit. I don't know what to believe. But Pinky Pills also did say she was going to address all of her controversies, which I think she's addressed a few so far, but like not all of them. Like after like recently, not like throughout her career, but I mean like recently, like after she said she was like distancing or leaving. Have you seen anything on that?
No, I don't really focus on her Twitter.
Okay, yeah, because like to be fair, a lot of this stuff is also like seemingly coming from her Twitter. So
yeah, she's mostly active on that account, isn't she?
Yeah, Twitter is like her biggest spot she's active on. From what I've seen. So yeah, Pinky, obviously, nobody's gonna side with her. She's problematic. Well, maybe there'll be a few people that'll side with Pinky because she works with FNAF, so I love FNAF, so I'm gonna support FNAF any way I can. And then there was people upset at Scott Cawthon for almost defending Pinky at first by basically saying that like people can change and stuff like that. I believe that. I do believe people can change, but Pinky has shown time and time again that, like, she probably won't for a while, and she hasn't, at least recently. She's still problematic to this very day, and she is still hurting a little bit of the reputation of, like, FNAF and its community. Not like majorly. Like, again, I say a little bit because one artist is not gonna ruin a whole community or franchise. I think that's a huge exaggeration, but PinkyPills is certainly not helping.
Yeah.
So, like, it was for the best. It's for the best, honestly, that Pinky's gone. It's just I wish Scott was very more open about the fact that she is gonna fuck off. Yeah, like, I'm glad Pinky's gone, because oh my gosh, some of the shit she's done is actually fucking insane. But
oh my god, like the thing with what she thinks of when the thing is she thinks about Scott Coffin.
yeah, that shit is weird. I don't know why you'd keep someone like that around. Like, if I were Scott and, like, my official artist that I hired and I pay money to for him helping me is, like, fetishizing me and stuff like that and, like, being creepy about it, why? I wouldn't keep them around, especially for this long. Like, what the fuck? That is weird. Like, she is weird. I don't say that about a lot of people because I try to, like, nowadays at least, I try to be, like, more, like, secluded with what I think of people, but, like, Pinky is a fucking weirdo. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and I feel like Scott could have handled... Obviously, Scott obviously could have handled the situation better. Like, he could have been more open on what he was going to do about Pinky. Because it seemed like... As if it's true that Scott fired Pinky and Pinky's just lying about the fact she left her own accord, Scott could have been more open about that. And, like, Scott could have shown more, like, concern for the community. Not for the... But no, Scott could have been more, like, accepting of how the community felt. Shown that more and stuff like that. And, yeah, I feel like also... Now, the community in this case, whoever... If they were upset with Scott for it, I understand that completely. Honestly, I was kind of upset with Scott, too. Because, like... I didn't understand. I don't understand why you keep someone like Pinky around. Like, geez. But I feel like there's always gonna be people, like, some people in the community that always take it a little bit too far and make big assumptions about Scott. It's like, I still don't think Scott's, like, a terrible person. I just think that he needs to, like, he just needs to think more on what he's doing and what he's gonna say, especially since he's, like, the creator or, like, the owner of, like, a big, like, one of the biggest franchises, honestly, in, like, modern day. Yeah, like, yeah, again, I don't think Scott's, like, a malicious guy. I just think sometimes he's, like, he just not misunderstands, but, like, he's misguided, or he just needs a better grasp of what to do, and etc. You know?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I'll say it's just a big clusterfuck, I can just say.
Yeah, it is. It's a big fucking clusterfuck. Like, it is crazy. Like, both of this and the Talbert Files was enough, again, for some people to straight up leave the community, or even have the thought of thinking about it. Which, honestly...
This, like, happened on the same day, right?
I think, not the same day, but throughout, like, the whole week. I feel like there was, like, a day where, like, a lot of stuff happened at once, but, like, I think both of these were, like, sporadic throughout the week, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I have nothing else much really to say about either the Talbert Files or Pinky. I just think both of these controversies were clusterfucks. People could have handled things better, but there was some fair criticism to be had towards Scott, Adam, Pinky, even people of the community, and yeah. I just think some people just need to do better honestly.
I just remembered something. According to some people, there was like a rumor going on that the reason why Scott was like keeping Pinky was because she was currently working on something, and if she leaves, that project would have been scrapped or something.
I did hear about that. I also heard a theory that, like, Pinky was blackmailing Scott. I don't know how credible that one is, though. This is rumors. Sometimes rumors don't need to be listened to. You gotta, like, see all the evidence and proof and, like, form your own opinion or form your own, yeah, not really opinion, but form your own conclusion.
Yeah.
Like, think for yourself, basically. But yeah, anything else you want to say about Pinky or even Talbert before we move on to a much more happy subject?
Why make William Afton fat?
Oh, fucking no. I remember there's like actual Pinky art of like FNAF X Family Guy.
Oh my god, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, I like that art. I like that piece of art though. I genuinely do. I think it actually like works within the style of like Family Guy. But yeah, so the next topic is the fact that the official release date for the FNAF movie sequel, the FNAF movie 2, was officially revealed. So, you already know what it is, right, Zawire Pumpkin?
Yes.
Alright. And drum roll please. I'm not gonna edit it in, so thank you. The release date for Five Nights at Freddy's movie 2 is gonna be December 5th, 2025. Wow! Wow! Wow!
Oh, Christmas time.
Yeah, some people were just saying it's gonna be a Christmas movie. I
like how every human just basically agrees that December is the Christmas month.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna consider it a Christmas movie if there's literally no element of Christmas or winter in there. If it's literally just a horror movie and stuff like that, then yeah, I'm just gonna consider it not a Christmas movie. But it's a December movie at least, since it's releasing in December, unless it gets delayed. But yeah, yeah, no, this is probably one of the shortest topics in this video because I have nothing on this besides the release date. I just think it's cool we officially have a release date for the second FNAF movie.
Yeah.
So soon too. Jesus Christ.
Goodbye, Mike.
Yeah. Anything you want to add before we move on from this very short topic?
Yes, when we talk about the second FNAF movie, I'm always gonna mention the Blue Bunny.
Yeah, Toy Bonnie is gonna be in it. We all know you want to see.
Every time we bring up the second movie on a podcast, I'm going to mention them.
Yeah. Yeah. Toy Bonnie will be cool to see. But, yeah. So the next topic is also probably gonna be one of the shorter ones. FNAF VR Help Wanted 2, the sequel, is officially on Quest, like MetaQuest, like 2 and 3, and stuff like that. Like, Help Wanted 2 is officially reaching other VR headsets, like other VR platforms. Flat mode still isn't out, but that will come out very soon. But yeah. I got to replay Help Wanted 2 on my Quest VR. I beat the game again, including the secret ending, and yeah, I'm ready for when I do the 100% completion visit stream on my channel for it. But yeah, Help Wanted 2 is still a really good game. It's still probably my favorite FNAF game for right now, unless something changes. But yeah, I'm assuming you don't own a VR.
I don't, sadly.
Yeah, you've seen gameplay of Help Wanted 2 there, right?
I have.
What do you think of it from the gameplay?
I'll say it looks fun.
Yeah. See, the thing with Help Wanted 2 is it's one of those games where it's better to play it than watch it, because it's genuinely like really fun to play. arguably more fun than the first Help Wanted, and the first Help Wanted is already pretty fun, so yeah, pretty cool beans.
I was actually comparing Help Wanted 1 with Help Wanted 2. And from what it looks like, it seems to be, from what I saw, it looks like Help Wanted 2 has more fun mini-games.
Yeah, it does. There's like way more. I think the mini games are way more like complex. Not like complex like it's hard or difficult, but more complex as in like there's more to do with the gameplay in each of the mini games. Like it's not like super easy, but it's not like tremendously hard. And I think that makes it a huge step up from Help Wanted 1 because I love the first Help Wanted as well. It's another favorite FNAF game of mine, but I feel like a tiny flaw I have with it is like some mini games can be too easy, especially like the parts and service levels. I think in retrospect those are just too easy when you play them enough times. And vent repair is too easy nowadays too, honestly. What do you think? Huh?
I honestly don't know.
Yeah. Have you played the first Help Wanted?
Not in VR, no.
Okay. You fucking flat mode boy. It's okay. I played flat mode for the longest time too, don't worry. You're fine.
Okay, I was gonna say, I don't really own Help Wanted, but I just play the Friends version.
Ah, okay.
I do have a Switch though, I could just download it on Switch.
Yeah. Yeah, it's on Switch. But yeah, I'm glad Help Wanted 2 is officially reaching like other VR platforms or headsets or whatever, so more people can play it and experience how good it is. And then yeah, flat mode will probably open. Flat mode and other consoles will probably have given more exposure to. Yeah. Anything else you want to add before we move on?
I just thought of this now. What kind of missed potential would it be if they called the Quest port the Princess Quest port?
I don't know. Anyway, the next topic is going to be how there's basically an official Twitter /X account for Five Nights at Freddy's /Scott Games. Oh boy.
Oh.
So yeah, this is a thing now. Scott Cawthon created an actual Twitter account for FNAF. There's no posts on it. There's no posts or tweets on it yet as of me recording this episode. It has 43.3k followers. It's only following one account, and that's PlayStation. That's the PlayStation Twitter account. And also to keep in mind, Scott. Okay, so basically Scott explained what this really is on a Reddit post. This account is going to be used to post FNAF news and updates and stuff like that. And it's not going to be Scott himself running the account. It's going to be a team of people running the account, which I think that's probably for the best, as Scott is a kind of a controversial figure on Twitter anyway. So.
Oh, don't remind me.
Yeah. But yeah, this puts all the new FNAF news accounts on Twitter to dead space, doesn't it? Yeah. It already has a verified tick, and it's not like a Twitter Blue verified tick. No, it's like this account is verified because it's an official organization on X type of verified. So it's like recognized as like an official account for FNAF on Twitter, which is pretty cool, honestly. I feel like this is like the biggest thing FNAF needed in like a long time. I feel like this is actually like a really good decision. It also allows for a more like open source of FNAF news. And since like these team of people are working with Scott, more than likely the news will always be credible. Now wait for that to be poorly aged.
Oh yeah. Imagine it just be like the books sometimes.
Yeah. My Talbert Files are real, guys.
I was mostly referring to the book and the character encyclopedia.
Well, yeah, I was also just joking about that, too. But, yeah. So, yeah, good on Scott for allowing an official news account on Twitter for FNAF and Scott Games itself. Anything else you want to say?
Not really.
All right. The second to last topic is about the partner up, the merch lineup, the newest piece of FNAF merch that is apparently going to be made called Jazwares. Well, no, it's not called Jazwares. Like the company is Jazwares, but like they're making a FNAF line. And this is another controversial topic because you know why, right?
Yep.
Zionism, of course. Again, just to clarify for anyone listening, we already clarified this when we were talking about Scott being accused of Zionist. We do not support Israel. We are pro-Palestine. Means the War Pumpkin are pro-Palestine. We are not Zionists. So, seeing the fact that that a company that is now officially tied to FNAF, a series we love, is a Zionist supported company is kind of stinky.
Oh no.
Oh no. Yeah, and there's already FNAF fans calling for this merch line to get canceled before it's too late, which I agree with. And yeah, what does Jazwares even make, typically?
Okay, I actually know the company quite well. Do you know those plushies called Squishmallows?
Yes, I do.
Make those.
Oh, so they're like making little like FNAF Squishmallows.
Yeah. They also make figures and normal plushies.
Well, FNAF already has enough of those.
I'll say
I would want to see FNAF Squishmallows though, which is from a different company.
I will say, as a big Sonic nerd, I do know them for making a master license for the Sonic toys back in like 2011.
Yeah.
They even made my all-time favorite Sonic merch, actually.
Nice. But yeah, people are calling for this company to be away from FNAF, for Scott to drop the company. I don't think it's too late. I still think Scott can. However, I do want to bring this up. I think the sad reality is there might be a chance that nothing will happen, and Jazwares is gonna end up making FNAF merch anyway. Because, well, I hate to admit it, sometimes boycotts don't work. That's just how life is. Companies, as long as they're making money, they don't really care. And yeah, so probably not gonna buy anything from this company just so I don't support Zionism, but I do want to see FNAF Squishmallows just from a different company. I love Squishmallows. We continue. I'm sorry for interrupting.
It also been said that they acquired a master toy license. Which some people saying that Scott is finally making Funko not the main brand for FNAF merch.
Oh, damn. Well, but Funko, like, to my knowledge, Funko is not a Zionist company, right? Unless I missed something.
No, I'm pretty sure I haven't heard of that.
See, for as much as the merch can be very hit or miss, I'd rather Funko be like the company behind the merch than Jazwares. Oh well, we just gotta wait and see how everything turns out, because it is kind of really early. It was all announced this month, hence why it's a topic on the podcast this month. This month's episode. So yeah. Yeah, I got nothing else really to add on. Anything else you want to add on to this?
Okay, I will say I do not support Jazwares, but I'm a little curious to see what they will make. Again, I don't support Jazwares.
Yeah, so do I. I'm like the same way. I don't support them, but I am kind of interested to see like what they make because again, I love Squishmallows, and you told me they make Squishmallows, so yeah. But yeah. The final topic of the episode, and it's a fanverse related one. We got more reveals of the gameplay of the living room memory / level of the new Joy of Creation game being worked on by Nixon for the fanverse. Even today, as of recording this episode, not today, yesterday, I think, actually, it revealed Ignited Foxy, it revealed the TV, it revealed that you'd pause with a remote. It's very unique gameplay, I'll say that.
It is different from the original version of Living Room.
Yeah, and I think it might end up being better. I have hopes. I have high hopes. I have genuine, excitement for it.
It seems to be there's more new hiding spots instead of hiding behind the doors.
Yeah, that is very unique. Also, I was looking a little bit in the replies for the reveals, and I think in one of them Nixon reveals that the story is going to be kind of completely different from the original. I think that he's keeping the fact that you're playing as the creator of FNAF, Scott. But first of all, he actually doesn't name it as Scott. He names it as the creator of FNAF, but I think the story otherwise is going to be different according to him. So it's not an I think, he said it's going to be different. If you look in his replies, you probably find it from him. And some people are speculating that the creator of FNAF in this universe is going to be, I forget what the name is. It's Steve or Steven something, and it's a reference to the security breach arcade cabinet of Joy Creation, House of the Bear or whatever.
Oh,
yeah.
So the Bear 1 and 2. House of the Bear 1 and 2.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I found one of the replies. Yes, Steve Snodgrass.
Oh.
I don't know if that's a real name or not, if it's a joke thing, but...
Sure, it's a made-up name.
Yeah, probably. Probably got fucking baited. But, yeah. I'm excited for the Joy Creation. Honestly, the Joy Creation... It's weird, because he doesn't call it the Ignite Collection anymore. But, the remake for the Joy... Sorry.
It's just Creation, Joy of Creation, because Reborn and Classic are no longer part of the port, apparently. That's
a shame. But yeah, this remake...
I was really looking for Reborn.
Same, I wanted a remake to that so bad. But yeah, but this remake of Joy Creation is probably the game out of the fanverse I'm the most excited for currently, because Evergreen news doesn't excite me as much anymore, if I'm being honest, because it's very minimal news, and we have not heard a single thing about Candy's 4 in a while. Oh my god. Oh well. Yeah. That's it for me. Anything else you want to add on before we conclude this?
No, I'm afraid not.
Alright, so, yeah. That wraps up all the topics today for this episode of the Tyler Podcast Redux. So it wraps up the episode. Very interesting stuff. There was we got an early version of a book that was controversial. A controversial problematic FNAF artist left and fucked off. Got release date for Funny Bear Movie 2. The second VR game for Funny Bear game released on the Quest. Funny Bear Game has an official Twitter account. Funny Bear Game is now linked with a Zionist merchandise company, and the joy of the creation living room is being revealed some more.
Yeah.
So anything else you want to say before we go?
Yes. To the people that are watching, did you know that Ennard has a page in the Peppa Pig fandom wiki?
Jesus Christ, I saw that and I was like, what the fuck? Why? Why? What does it say on there? Is there anything interesting on the page? Or is it just...
I actually haven't... I checked the page, I forgot what it said. Hold on.
Is it just like a description of Ennard, or is there like actual like information that's like interesting?
Hold on. Okay.
Oh boy.
Ennard is an overacting antagonist of Peppa Pig.
What?
2317 and a major antagonist of Peppa Pig. Peppa Pig's different. She is the first confronting Charm? What the hell's a Charm?
What the fuck?
In his nuclear bunker at the end of PPTTS. Whatever that is, she is last seen killing inhabitants of Peppa Pig Town. No, Peppa Town.
I saw a little bit of Peppa Pig when I was a kid, and I don't remember Ennard showing up.
It's a fanon wiki. A fanon wiki.
I know, I'm just fucking around.
Yeah, I know.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, that wraps up this episode. Thanks for that piece of trivia about Ennard being in Peppa Pig fandom wiki. It's great.
Yeah.
In the description below will be eventually the chat. Well, as soon as it goes up, will be the chapters if you want to skip around topics, as well as that is my Discord server, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Tyler Extras, Tyler's World. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see y'all in the next thing that I do. Toodles.
See ya later.